This is my first drum cover video. No input selected. You're full of it. Everybody relax.
Don't mind me, I'm just sitting here all by myself. Don't mind me.
It's been a long time since I've done a drum vlog because, well, I haven't been able to go to lessons for a very long time. I have been practicing and I have been trying to learn new songs, but I don't want to play something that I've been learning on my own. I want to play something that I learned under the supervision of Dan Welby. So today I'm going to be covering Sweet Child of Mine, and this is my first ever drum cover video. It's exciting and nerve-wracking. It requires all the skills, right? It requires being able to film myself, it requires being able to record myself playing, and it requires me being able to play it. So all these things combined means that it's probably going to be a long day, but I feel fairly confident that I can at least do a decent job. Let's see what happens, y'all. I'm excited to try it out. Here we go. So the first thing I have to do is figure out the best angle and actually the best lens because, you know, fisheye lets you see more of what I'm playing, but since I'm not an expert who's trying to show you how to play, I'm just trying to play along as best I can, I think you don't need to see so much. So I think I'm going to stick with this lens and maybe give you a little bit wider. Let's see what this looks like and we'll see where we end up. Okay, I think you'll see enough of me here. We're gonna see how that... We have raised and pulled back on the camera. I feel like this might work better. We're gonna do this thing that we do. This is how we warm up. Warm up our arms. Warm up. All right, we've done it one more time, and I think this is the spot. I think this is gonna be good. So now we're figuring out how we record. I have not recorded drums for about 10 years myself. I've been in many rooms recording drums, but I've not been the engineer. And I have never recorded electronic drums. I think it's gonna be basically like recording MIDI because that's digital. It makes sense. So hopefully this will be simple. Let's see what happens, or we'll find out. I don't know if the USB out will do it, but I do know that the MIDI will. So we're gonna try all this stuff. What a relief. I just needed the USB and now I can record. I'm so excited. All right, well, we are off to a good start because setting this up on recording was really easy. I got the backing track from a service that I've been using for a few years. I'll put a link in the description for the service if you're ever curious for getting backing tracks. I've used it a lot with lessons. I did it for preparation for my friend's wedding. I'm just gonna run it a few times and see how I feel, and then we're gonna record, and I'm so excited. All right, I'm feeling good about this, so I'm gonna start recording and filming to see where we go from here. Where do we go now? Where do we go now? Where do we go? Yeah. I thought I hit record and I didn't hit record. So what I was saying was that the only complaint that I have about my kit so far, 2 years in, is that whenever I do side sticking on my snare, every time I hit down, it drops a little bit further and further and further. I'm sure in a more expensive kit, they've got ways to fix this, but the problem is that like these are all like put together with little clamps around these bars, and the clamps themselves are plastic. So the problem is that if you tighten it too much, you're actually not like tightening anymore, you're basically just digging into the plastic, and I don't want to do that because it wears it out quickly. I did some adjustments, hopefully it helps, and we'll see how that turns out. Also, I decided I don't like the bicycle style throne. I got this for free as a gift from Dan, and I love free things, but from my experience now, like getting up, going, moving, doing things, I don't think the bicycle seat is very great. I can see where it's beneficial for some people, but it's kind of just like a nuisance because if I sit down and it's not quite on the spot, it's really awkward. You like have to sit with like the crotch pointing forward. As you play with instruments and get used to a new instrument, you find the things that you like about it and the things that you would change. And that's me just discovering my instrument. It's really hard being your own camera person and your own musician and your own engineer, let me tell you. I have stood up from this little cramped space 50 times now. There's another factor when you're a lady. that you have to consider, which is that you should look cute when you're doing things, right? I gotta tell y'all, I think that's a load of bullshit. But I got this really cute top from a really good mate of mine, and I want to show it off because they are so kind to have sent me this really cute top. Alrighty, we're gonna try this, and we're gonna see what happens. Let's jump in. Oh no, it's on mute. Alright. Attempt number 1, not bad. Immediately out the gate, something up. But my plan here was to just play through and see how I feel, and I feel really, really good. The snare, something is going on. I gotta fix this. Like, I'm either hitting too hard because I'm too enthusiastic, or it's just not doing well. So we're gonna fix it, we're gonna check the footage, we're gonna powder my forehead because it's shiny AF, and we're gonna try again. All right, we're ready for take 2. I decided I needed a little more flair, so I put a necklace on. I don't know what the final take's gonna be. We're gonna find out when we post this. I also texted Dan, told him what I'm doing, and he said if I need any tips or help or anything to let him know, and that very likely could happen. But I feel pretty confident. I got my reach 'em stick, so that all I have to do is reach over here and hit record. Attempt number 3. I have to just adjust a couple things here, I've decided. There are no toms in this song. Moments of contemplation. I think this is a little better. I don't think it's gonna improve my playing, I just think it's gonna make it more comfortable. Let's try. Not a bad third attempt. A couple more flubs. For what I'm doing here, I feel it's most important to just keep going and just record all the way through and then just start over again for the next recording, because if I were in a gig and that happened, I can't just stop and say, hey everybody, let's start over. When you're recording, of course you can, but in this instance, I just drive through the song and I'm not doing so bad. I have my own notes. I've just been informed that lunch is happening soon. We're gonna try to get it in this take number 4. All right, not bad. We're feeling so good about it that we're gonna do one more take without even cutting the camera. Wow, we're hot. Let's do this. Are we ready? I think I'm ready. Okay. Not bad. We're gonna breathe and do this one more time through before we take a break. So that was 5. It was really close. I went to take a break because I thought lunch was gonna be ready, but I have like 10 more minutes, so we're gonna try one more round before I take my lunch break. This is gonna be take 6, and I'm not feeling too bad about how many takes this has taken me because each of the takes was mostly good. I could have taken the first and second take and between those two put together the correct sequence. But I don't want to do that. I want to play it all the way through, especially because I'm doing it on video. Here we go. Let's try take 6. I am back from lunch. I am ready to do this again. And I think this can be the take. That was so much rock and roll that I knocked my kick. Just started leading. Take 8. I just have a feeling this is the one. Or this is the last time I'm going to try. Well, we all know why that take failed. I said the last take would probably be the take, but then we all saw how that turned out, didn't we? This is take 11 for real now. 14 is the number. And if we don't get it, we're gonna give up drums. Okay, that's good. This is take 16. And literally, like, for reals this time, Joe. This is the last time you can play it. Wow. That was like 30 takes. Officially, there were only 16 takes. But honestly, I think that was the best. I'm good with it. Now that I've done the drums, I'm just gonna quickly track the vocals over it too, because, why not? That'll only take me like maybe 1 or 2 takes, so let's do it. Okay, we're looking to see how this is gonna look. Checking 2, 1. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. You good? Is that good? Here we go. She's got a smile and it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories where everything was as fresh as a bright blue sky. Oh, 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 sweet child of mine. Where do we go? Where do we go now? Bright blue sky, sweet child of mine. Whoa, we did it. I cannot believe that I just finished filming and recording my first drum cover ever. It's been 2 years since I started taking lessons, and I just finally felt ready. I don't think I'm up to a certain par yet, but I was ready to perform for some people, and I think that it went very well, all things considered. There were a lot of things going on. I was filming myself, I was performing the song, playing the song, recording, and also I had to set everything up in the first place. So it was a lot, and fortunately most of the technology was on my side. I only had a couple weird things that happened with the drum kit kind of playing notes on parts of the kit that I didn't actually play. But the great thing about MIDI is that when something like that happens, like for example, if my knee just like hits the tom and it sets it off because it just triggers it by my knee, I can go in and just erase that note very easily. Playing an electronic drum kit has its pros and cons. In the pro column, we definitely have super easy to record. I literally plugged in one cable. Whereas if I used an acoustic kit, I couldn't record it here because it requires a certain kind of room space, multiple microphones, and a lot of finesse because there's a lot of things to be considered. When you're playing a drum kit, you've got lots of parts that make their own sounds, and you want to record each of those individually. But of course, because they're all close together, you get something called bleed. So you can imagine how that works with the drum kit. Like if you have a microphone that's in the hi-hat, it's going to pick up some of the snare because it's in really close proximity to the same microphone. There are a lot of ways that engineers and musicians have figured out how to, set up the right kind of mics to do as little bleed as possible and get really good sound. And it's a lot of work. But when you have an acoustic drum kit, you get all kinds of dynamics. There's so much you can do just playing on one kit. How hard you play, the placement of your stick on the part of the drum. There's so many variables. With the MIDI, you get a lot of variables. I mean, you can decide what snare you want, what hi-hat you want, and then you can add effects and whatever. But because it's digital, those little tiny finesses are just not quite there. You do, have your balance of like what makes it a great instrument, what makes it great to use, what makes it not as great to use. And for an instance like this where I'm just like showing you guys that I'm playing the song, it works perfectly. But if I were going to record this song to be released out to the world, I would way prefer the acoustic drum kit for sure. If you're hearing explosions, that's just iPhone blowing things up in the other room. I got a pillow to sit on because I was sitting on my feet and it was starting to hurt. So where was I? Oh yes. In addition to the technical aspects of this, meaning recording, filming, and playing the right notes, I also had to perform because I was on camera and I didn't want you guys to just see me and my practice face the whole time, which is kind of like a scared, then kind of angry, then like sad, and then mad at myself. I enjoy playing the drums every time I play, but my face doesn't always express that. Overall, I felt pretty good. I think it came across that I was having a good time. I will definitely be doing this again.
I'm just gonna have to pick the song and do it. If you have song suggestions, I welcome you to leave those in the comments below. Just keep in mind that I'm a beginner intermediate player and, think of songs that'd be great for someone at my level to play. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. It's been a blast. I can't believe that now, 2 years down the line, this is the point where I've finally come to, and it's only gonna keep going. The learning never stops. So I'm definitely going to get better and better, and I definitely intend on learning more and improving more and getting more and more difficult songs to play. At some point, it'd be really cool to be able to write the drum parts for my songs. That's going to be a while down the road, so for now I'm just going to ask my really cool friends to play for me on my records. And if you have not yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when new videos come up. And make sure to follow me on all the social medias at @IamInene. And you can also follow me at Joe Music, which is where you're going to hear a lot more about my music stuff that's coming out. I've got singles coming out, I've got videos, live streams, all kinds of things, and I'm releasing them under my name as a solo artist. You all know all about my band, Time in the Dragon, and how I've been doing music with lots of really cool people, but now it's time for me to do some solo releases, and so I would love it if you'd go follow me on all that social media and my website. I'm going to put all the things on the screen so you know where to go, and all the links down below so that you know where to click, and I cannot wait to share more with you. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, night, evening, tomorrow, whenever, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye!
Name of your gods and your money and shrines behind every one's back you hide. I know what you